Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a Chicago drill rapper by the name of Lil Jay. Now, Lil Jay has put his foot stomp on this game for a long time, but he caught a case about 7 years ago, and he's been locked down since then. Now, since he's been back, he's been well received by the rap game. Now, there's been a lot of rumors since his release, a lot of the usual talk of anybody getting out of jail. You know, when things come full circle, artists get locked up with their homeboys and things like that. When they come out and everybody's done their time, there's always some sort of argument. There's always some sort of strife, right? There's always some sort of back and forth. And in this case, it's the same thing. Because Lil Jay just shook a hornet's nest up on the social media, on the internet, man. And basically got a lot of people in Chicago on social media right now talking about his relationship between his inner circle. Now, what I'm getting at is he went to dissing a couple of people that you would think he would be cool with. I mean, you had Yella, who came out and actually made a statement on his behalf on his social media page. And then he said something about him in an interview that he did with Saycheese. Now, in this same Saycheese interview, which is broken down in clips, he makes a major statement about a fellow drill rapper by the name of FBG Butta. Now, FBG Butta has a long-standing history in the rap game, and he got home maybe about, when I say got home, I mean got out of jail, maybe about 3 or 4 years prior, and he's been well received. He's been hanging out with a lot of the Chicago drill artists like FBG Wooski and all them, and it hasn't been any issue until today when Lil Jay basically said FBG Butta was no good. He was out here talking, telling, he told on him, and he said he got the paperwork, man. Now, before we get into the specifics and break it down how I saw it or what I heard, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Lil Jay. Now, Lil Jay was on saycheese's platform for one of those interviews that gets broken into parts, and on two major parts in the interview, he pointed out FBG Butta and said that he told on him, basically called him a snitch and all that, man. And he might have said some other things that I'm not going to get into, but, man, he basically put it out there that a lot of the issues that he caught in his legal situation were on the behalf of FBG Butta. He said it even got to the point where he told FBG Butta, you know what? We at this point, you done already told, you didn't, you know what I'm saying, folded on me. Make it right, dog. Write up an affidavit, or I'll write the affidavit, and then you sign it, and that way we can clear me and we'll be all right, man. We'll be good. I won't even sweat you. You know what I'm saying? Try to give him an out. But based on what Lil Jay said, FBG Butta was not going for that, man. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true, because this is only Lil Jay's account of what went down between him and FBG Butta when they were locked down originally, like 7 years ago, right? But he made a statement during the interview that's starting to catch a lot of wind, or it's starting to catch a lot of traction, I should say, on social media. Now, this is wild. He said that FBG Butta sold him out for an Italian beef sandwich, some chips, some Newports, and a Pepsi, man. I'm serious. That's what he said, an Italian beef. So now if you go to FBG Butta's page, you'll see that it says a lot of people are trolling his page, his IG page, saying Italian beef and Pepsi. Like, that'll forever be your name, Italian beef. And in the interview, Lil Jay calls FBG Butta Italian beef because he's saying he sold him out for an Italian beef sandwich. I am not making this up. As funny as it sounds, this is real deal stuff that's going on, man, according to these rappers. And here we go. Just so you know I'm not capping. On the last post that FBG Butta made on his page, you can see he made this post right here. It was a picture of him, or excuse me, a video of him rapping some lyrics, right? And in the lyrics that he's rapping, he's basically, you know, trying to say that, you know, he ain't a snitch or anything like that. And it sounds, that's kind of what I heard, right? Now, in the caption of that post, he said this, on tools, stop. And it has a stop sign emoji, right? Playing with me, because I do this for real. You know what I'm saying? Let it be known that he's nothing to play with. And this post was made yesterday when the interview started to drop initially. But if you look down below that post, you'll see the other people who commented on this. It's a whole bunch of beef emojis with a soft drink. And it's somebody said, your name Italian beef and Pepsi now. Because that's what Lil Jay called him during the interview. He said they call him Italian beef and Pepsi because he said he sold him out for an Italian beef and a Pepsi, man. So that's wild. And you see more posts on the bottom where it says Italian beef and Pepsi. I guess it's going to be his nickname, until he clears this up. And this is people trolling him on behalf of what Lil Jay said in the interview, man. Lil Jay is saying a lot. And he was a very, very hot artist, like, pause on all that, when he came out. Like, people was, like, really feeling him. Like, he was one of them dudes, man. But, they had their own little situation. He got locked down for 7 years, and that'll cripple any career. But he's young enough to still make a comeback. And it looks like with this saycheese interview, he's letting it be known that he's not taking any shorts or any losses, man. He's actually going to lick his wounds on what happened in the past. And if anybody did him dirty in the past, he's going to comment on it, and he's going to try to keep it straight or 100 with everybody, right? Now, I don't know if I should take Lil Jay's word for it because, when it comes to these situations, he might be taking somebody else's word that was in there on the investigation. And we know that sometimes those stories get convoluted. Just because you've seen somebody with a sandwich or whatever doesn't mean that they told, even though everybody automatically believes that. Like, that is, like, even they played it on the TV show The Wire. Like, they showed the dude eating, and he was like, yo, man, we gave your boy McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? And now, when people see that, they associate that with telling, snitching, or whatever. But like I say, I'm not a street dude, so I'm not going to hold anybody to that standard. And with FBG Butta, it seems like he was doing relatively well being received by the rap game. If you look at some of his interviews from last year, and I went down a deep dive on all these interviews, right? And his interviews from like 2021, last year, man, they was getting like 500,000, 700,000, some even 70,000, good numbers for interviews, man. Very good numbers. So obviously people are interested in seeing what these rappers are doing and, see what's going on with them. Now, when it comes to FBG Butta, his story is even more interesting because the subject of that documentary that came out on A&E, Confessions of a Gang Girl or something like that it was called, about Jakira Barnes, who has been an integral figure in the whole Chicago drill scene, drill rap scene. That's his actual sister. And if you look at them, they kind of look familiar, right? They look like a brother and sister, I should say, right? But he went and he talked about that, in previous interviews. And that's kind of a bond that he has with FBG Duck because, him and FBG Duck and all them are crew. We'll say that. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting situation because essentially these guys are all supposed to be cool with each other, right? They all supposed to be crew, at least on the outside looking in. And it seems like with Lil Jay coming back from jail, or prison, I should say, it's anything but that, man, because it's a lot going on right now since he started doing these interviews. And I think he's just basically trying to speak his truth. But what do you guys think about this situation, man? Do you think that Lil Jay is right for putting that out there and, giving like a nickname and, feeding the trolls as they go in on FBG Butta? Or do you feel like, hey, man, if that's how he saw things and he has the paperwork to back it up, he's free pretty much to say whatever he wants. You know what I mean? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.